Hi, I'm Jonathan Fanning, founder of Entrepreneur Adventure, owner of the Fun Bus of New York, and really my background is primarily in leadership development in huge companies, Fortune 500, Ford, Lockheed Martin, Duracell, The Gap, the list goes on and on. But then a lot working with, in the last few years, small entrepreneurial companies. I love leadership and I love excellence and I love studying the best of the best of the best, the people who have made significant impact in the world, in business, in leadership, in social ventures, in politics, people that have done tremendous things. And in my study, I found that there were all these contradictions. And I started wondering, are the leadership gurus lying to me? I started wondering that because I'd come across leaders that had totally different qualities or books about leadership that said, these are the five, no, these are the five, and they weren't the same five. Two of them or three of them might be the same, but the other two or three were not. I started wondering, are they lying to me? Are they telling me a story? Well, let me share with you leadership, your leadership, and a 2,000-year-old structure. A 2,000-year-old structure. The Pantheon in Rome is an unbelievable structure. If you ever get the chance to be there, some of you may have seen it, but it's famous. It's got this big dome on the top, and it's got a hole in the top that's 30 feet in diameter. It's called the oculus. That hole is 142 feet from the ground. The Pantheon is the largest concrete, non-reinforced dome in the world, and it's almost 2,000 years old. How does it stand? Well, and how does that relate to your leadership? Inside the walls of the Pantheon are 8 pillars, 8 circular, cylindrical pillars. The walls are 21 feet thick. 21 feet thick. And at the dome, it's 21 feet thick at the beginning of the dome. And then as the dome gets higher and higher, further away from the main structures, the walls, the dome gets thinner and thinner to less than 4 feet at the oculus. And the stone that the Romans used in building this gets less and less dense as it gets further up. Brilliant. Took tremendous, tremendous engineering understanding to build this thing. What does that have to do with your leadership? Well, here's what I found. One great leader is an unbelievable visionary. One great leader is unbelievable with finances. One great leader is unbelievable with people. And then you find a leader that's not so good with people, but incredibly determined, tremendous work ethic. And you say, well, here's the bottom line. Character plus skill determines the value you can offer as a leader. And in our Entrepreneur Adventure programs, we talk about that in terms of the value you can offer as a business. Your character as an individual and as an organization, plus your skill as an individual and as an organization, determines the value you can provide. The character and the skill are the walls or the pillars inside of those walls that hold up your leadership ability. So here's the challenge that I have for you. 8 pillars inside the Pantheon. Your leadership, maybe it's 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe it's 8, but which pillars are you going to strengthen? Because here's what I've seen. I've seen people that have some vision. So that pillar of vision is, let's say, half as high as the Pantheon. They've got some vision. They're a 5 out of 10 in vision. But it's not consistent or clear. So the vision is a 5 sometimes, and it's not that thick. So it can't hold up that much weight. On the other side, let's say courage. They've got a 2 out of 5 in courage, so it's a very small pillar. But it's consistent, it's unbelievable consistent. They're always a 2. So it's a wide pillar, so it's pretty strong, but not very high. Now all of a sudden they're building this Pantheon, this leadership structure. And on one side they've got a 5, but it's thin. On the other side they've got a 2, and it's very, very thick. So it can hold a lot of weight. But the 5 is shaky, the vision is shaky. What happens to the structure, the organization, the leadership impact that they can have? It's a little bit shaky. So my challenge to you from this is to start thinking through which character traits and skills, but I want you to focus on character traits for right now. Which character traits will be the foundational pillars in your leadership? And let me give you some examples. Perhaps it's vision, perhaps clarity of vision, perhaps courage, integrity, do what you say what you do, right? Confidence, passion, humility. We call it in our Entrepreneur Adventure programs, we call it applied teachability. And it's a funny combination of courage and humility because applied means you're doing something with it. Teachability means you don't necessarily think you have all the right answers. My daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, phenomenal example of, she's got some tenacity. She doesn't give up very easily, but she doesn't always change her approach. So applied teachability, her score out of 10, let's say, wouldn't be as high as her tenacity or courage. She'll keep asking, Daddy, can I have a cookie? Daddy, can I have a cookie? Dad, I want a cookie. Can I have a cookie? Can I get a cookie? Can I get a cookie? But she's not changing the approach. So she's not taking the feedback all the time and saying, how do I change that? So that's applied teachability, great combination of the courage and the humility to change the approach. How about belief? And belief coupled with vision, extremely powerful. I meet people all the time with tremendous vision, but very limited belief in that vision. So they've got this vision of these things that they can do, these things, the way that they can change the world or build a company, but not a lot of belief. And in management consulting with huge companies, meet people all the time that say, Jonathan, you own your own business. I've owned a couple businesses in my life. How do you do it? And they've got this vision. They want to own their own business, but they don't have the courage or the belief to go out and do it. So maybe it's belief. Maybe it's responsibility. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's focus. Maybe it's purpose. Maybe it's patience. Maybe appreciation, determination, generosity, initiative, discernment, good judgment. Which way should we go? I've met people with tremendous determination and courage, but poor discernment. And they can lead people, but they're going down this path that cannot work. Not as good at the judgment. Maybe it's positive attitude. Maybe it's servanthood. Maybe it's compassion, thoughtfulness. Maybe it's love. So I ask you this, to spend some time, start building a list today. Here's my one thing to do out of watching this video. Start thinking through this Pantheon and start listing all the character traits that you absolutely value in your world as a leader, as a parent, as a leader in business, as a manager, as maybe a coach, whatever it is that you do. All the qualities, the character traits that you absolutely value, start listing them on a sheet of paper today. And take a few days to do this. Start listing them, and every day you might add 1 or 2 or 3. On the left side of that list, start ranking, force rank these. So let's say you come up with 20 qualities. Then start saying, okay, which one is the absolute number one? And go through the whole list. Number one is the first one on the list is the most important. Then you come to the second one and say, no, that's a little more important. And keep force ranking until you have the absolute, the most important to you. And then the second most important, the third most important. On the left side of those qualities, write that 1 through 20, whatever the number is. Then on the right side, be as honest as you can be and rate yourself in that quality. Am I a 1 out of 10? Horrible at it. Am I a 10 out of 10? I doubt you'll have a lot of 10 out of 10s, maybe none. But where am I really today? And you might want to talk to people people that spend a lot of time with you and say, where do you think I am in humility, applied teachability maybe? Where do you think I am in servanthood or courage? And rate yourself today. And then pick the handful that are the top few that you are going to build your leadership around. So once again, Jonathan Fanning, I hope this serves you.